deferred to May 22nd. And FR2 to be deferred to June 12th. That concludes the 3 items.
Thank you. I will now ask my colleagues if there are any items on this agenda that they would like to withdraw and or defer. Mr. Vice Chair?
Not at this time, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Pardo?
Not at this time.
Commissioner Gabella?
No.
At this time, I will, may I have a motion to set the agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The agenda has been set. At this time, I will open the floor for public comment. If there's anyone here who would like to speak on behalf of any item that is before us today, please step forward. Good morning. Please state the item that you are speaking on.
PH 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chaplain Stanley Young, 500 Northwest 2nd Avenue. I am a chaplain here in Miami-Dade County. I walk the streets to engage with the homeless that are in our fair city, and I had to stop everything when I seen the PH items that was up for consideration. Seniors are our #1 homeless people that I have met that are coming trying to get into the shelters. They're on the streets with their strollers. So I'm so glad to see that you actually has a resolution to address our seniors, because they have worked and have been a very active part of our community. And we need to do something that will be able to assist them personally with their plight. I thank you and I commend you with that. The choice vouchers for PH2, choice vouchers are very good help, for those that really do need assistance with their rent, with their bills and what may have you. And lastly, the CGB grants that you put out to assist organizations, those unsung heroes who don't work directly with the county or the city, that act there like myself, who are trying to our best to assist homeless people, who assist people, veterans, just people, homelessness does not discriminate. I have met so many gifted people from all walks of life who now find themselves homeless. And they really do need your help. And I thank you for doing your best to try to help and assist them. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I am speaking on PH1, not because I'm in opposition to it, but just because I want to call attention to something that it mentions, which is our Historic Preservation Fund. As a former member of the Historic Preservation Board now for 8 years, we've been asking for many years for our guidelines to be updated there from 2008. They cause a lot of conflict and issues in all of the districts, citywide. There's a lot of lack of clarity in the NCD districts and in the historic preservation guidelines of the city. We have a proposal to redo those guidelines. It's $150,000. I see here that they're allocating $406,000 from that fund for other purposes, which, by the way, I support because I believe in senior housing and affordable housing. But if you guys can please collectively make it a priority to please put funds towards the historic preservation guidelines of the city, I guarantee you it will help all of you in your offices with a lot of the conflicts and issues we have with unsafe structures. It would have helped a lot with the Coconut Grove Playhouse also, which unfortunately is going to be demolished, but it's not too late to do right by our city. Please, I implore you to take a look at that and make it a priority. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to direct administration to do just that. This past Tuesday was Constituent Tuesday, and a good part of my district is historic. And a family came to Constituent Tuesday. The woman was in tears because they have been trying to replace their windows with hurricane impact windows since September of last year, and they are caught in some kind of bureaucratic hell. And she's terrified because hurricane season is coming and she can't get any movement. Our staff has made efforts and we are working with them to resolve that, but that's not something that a constituent should have to come to me about. The process needs to be addressed. So, Mr. City Manager, I'm asking that you direct staff, however that goes, whatever that process is, to look at the guidelines for the Historic Preservation Board. And maybe there are avenues where, for example, replacing windows can move more seamlessly through the system.
By the way, correction, it's $86,000.
I've got 89.
Can I
She said four something.
I know that Commissioner
resolution
Gabella
it
has
says-
also encountered issues because there are no guidelines. There's not even a document that they're willing to share with anybody from the public because it's so outdated and it has major conflicts with Miami 21, so they won't even share it. So these poor constituents come to us all the time begging, and they're like way, beyond the path of resolution, and we can't help them because we're powerless. So these guidelines would help everybody.
I'm glad you brought that up because it is a concern. I hear it a lot in my district. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Siani Cox. I came here to speak on a certain land deal, but once again it has been pushed off the agenda, deferred again. That's 4 times now. And let's be real, this isn't about needing more time. This is about avoiding public backlash. Every deferral is a desperate.
I'm sorry, sir. What item?
It was supposed to be on PH5, but this has been deferred 4 times already, and I think it's
Okay,
quite.
so I'm going to have the city attorney explain to you why deferrals happen and why they happen the day of. We can't announce it. Mr. City Attorney, could you chime in?
Yes, Madam Chair. Once the item is on the agenda, it becomes an item of the whole City Commission, and therefore one commissioner can't unilaterally move something off the agenda or something like that. So they would each have to vote. We need a majority vote in order for that item to be deferred. This particular item you're talking about, we're in negotiations with the state, and it's really been the state that's been dragging its feet. So it's unfortunate. Sometimes these things happen. The deal's not ready, and so it's not intended to wear you down. It's just we have procedures that we have to follow, and we are following those procedures. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak? Please. Come on. No rush. Take your time.
Yes, if it may please the commission, my name is Kim Birkenfeld. I live at 2475 Brickell Avenue. I've been a resident of Miami for like 20 years, and I would like, can you hear me now? I'm okay. So my name is Kim Birkenfeld. I live at 2475 Brickell Avenue. I've been here for like 20 years. And I'm here to speak on CA2. That's okay. It's wonderful. Of course, it should go forward. I need to state, though, that I hope that moving forward, there can be someone on the sailing side and someone on the city side, so that if the worst thing happens and a sailor gets run over by a powerboat, there's somebody to follow up. Because I know the Sailing Center especially helps out those who are not from traditional sailing families. And if you are not, if your child gets hurt and you know nothing about sailing, you don't know what's happening. And the sailing world can pretty much keep a lid on things because it's a sport that has its own rules, and people outside of the community don't know the rules. They don't know that a sailor can't get hit by a powerboat, but that's not all right. So I just want to protect those who are up and coming in the sailing world, the residents of Miami who don't know about sailing and want to learn to sail. If we could just have someone on the commission, the city, and the sailing to be in charge if something happens, something goes wrong. That's all I ask going forward. It's beautiful. I love the sailing center, and it should obviously get passed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Seeing none, the public comment period is now closed. I would ask my colleagues if I may have a motion to approve the City Commission meeting minutes for March 13th.
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Gentlemen, are there any items on the consent agenda that you would like to pull for discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to pull two.
CA2?
Yeah, real quick, I sold the gentleman, Pat, how are you? I sold the gentleman boat last week, and I'm going to be not voting on this, just in an abundance of caution
Okay.
for conflict of
Right,
interest.
And I spoke with the commissioner, and due to the proximity of the personal transaction with this item, we agreed that it would make most sense in an abundance of caution for him to declare a voting conflict, and he will be filing the voting conflict form.
Okay.
The conflict was,
No, no.
oh, sorry.
Okay. Who's got the conflict?
Commissioner
I
Gabella.
sold the gentleman a boat
Oh,
about
I'm
2 weeks
sorry.
ago, and I don't want to, I don't want any, I'm for you, man. I hope you get your thing, but I can't, that's
That's
all.
fine. It's no problem. I just didn't
Yeah.
understand.
No,
No problem.
Commissioner
Let
Pardo?
me congratulate Commissioner Pardo on this. This is something that I think a lot of people want to see happen. It originally got approved when I was mayor of the city, and this has been a tremendous help to our Olympic teams in sailing throughout all these years. And while, yeah, it's prime property that they're using that belongs to the city, it's to a very well worth cause. The U.S. Olympics, where our finest young men and women have done excellence throughout the years. Thank you for bringing this forward.
No, thank you guys. I mean, you do an amazing job. I love going there, and really, we benefit from your service and everything you do in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Pardo, are there any items that you would like to pull? So may I have a motion to pass CA1 as amended, CA3 and 4?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion for CA2?
Let me step out.
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Gentlemen, of the public hearing items, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion from PH 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6 for discussion?
No.
None.
Commissioner Gabella, are there any of the PH items that you would like to pull for discussion? PH 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6?
No, I'm good.
May I have a motion? I have a motion and a second to pass PH 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
My
All in
apologies,
favor?
Chair. Who was the seconder?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Gentlemen, of the resolutions, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion? RE1 as amended or RE2?
And my apologies, Chair. I just need to read a brief statement for RE1. In addition to the amendment, thank you, Chair, for stating that, I will also be submitting the substitution memo into the public record as a backup document, and I will also be submitting into the public record a separate memo dated May 6, 2025, containing the official results of the Civil Service Board election as a backup document. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Anyone want to pull one of the two for discussion?
No.
Vice Chair? Commissioner Gabella?
Good.
Move.
I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Items passes unanimously. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the title of the second reading ordinances for the record?
Yes, Madam Chair. SR1, second reading, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 62, Article 13, Division 3, Section 62-535 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Planning and Zoning Approval for Temporary Uses and Occupancies, Permit Required, Temporary Structures in Conjunction with Permanent Outdoor Recreational Uses or Recreational Facilities, Temporary Uses on Vacant Land, by modifying exemptions containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date.
May I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Item passes unanimously. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read into the record the title of the first reading ordinances?
Yes, Madam Chair. First reading 1 will be modified. There's a change to the title, which I'll read now. An ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 52, Article 1, Section 52-4 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, City Code, titled Special Events, Special Event Permits, Application Requirements, to add the Department of Resilience and Public Works fees for use of the public right-of-way containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR2, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission.
FR2 has been deferred until 6/12.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I apologize for that. FR3, an ordinance of first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 54, Article 1, Section 54-3 of the Code of the City of Miami, as amended, titled Streets and Sidewalks in General, Permit Required for Work that Obstructs or Closes a Street, Sidewalk, or Impedes Traffic. Fees, waiver of fees. To provide for a waiver of permit fees for single-family affordable housing projects, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Items passes unanimously. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the titles into the record for the PZ items?
Yes, Madam Chair. PZ1, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending ordinance number 10544 as amended, the future land use map of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan pursuant to small-scale amendment procedure subject to Section 163.3187 Florida statutes by changing the future land use designation from medium-density restricted commercial to public parks and recreation of the acreage described herein of real property at 1628 Northwest 6th Street, 1653 Northwest 5th Street, and 1644 Northwest 6th Street, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ2, also a first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, Miami 21 Code, by changing the zoning classification from T5L, Urban Center Transit Zone Limited, to CS, Civic Space Transit Zone, for the property generally located at 1628 Northwest 6th Street, 1653 Northwest 5th Street, and 1644 Northwest 6th Street, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Gentlemen, may I have a motion?
Move.
Before the motion, I'd just like to say something very quick,
Okay.
if there's no problem. I'm going to be voting for this because I don't hold vendettas against anybody here.
Excuse me?
I'm going to be voting for this. It's in your area. It's a park. I think you're doing the right thing. I do not hold vendettas like you do to me, where you voted against the Alapata Sierra, and I just want to put that on the record. But I consider that next time I have something on the agenda, or he has something on the agenda, please don't hold vendettas, because we don't do it to you. I don't do it to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Commissioner,
That's all.
thank
I'm
you.
done. No, very quick.
Can I just say a word?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your words. But respectfully, if you look at the history since you've been here, I have voted for just about every item that you have requested in this commission, from one to the other, with the exception of that one, and I stated why. So I thank you for that. And for the record, I think we should put down here that this is for the Miami Marlins, a request that they made on the land that we gave to the county when none of us were here, and one of the worst deals in the history of Miami was made with former owners of the Marlins, I should clarify. And I hope that what I have been told, Mr. Manager, is correct, that at the end of that lease, whenever it'll be, that land, the contract that was signed by this city back then, reverts back to the city.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I'm sorry, Chair.
Aye.
Who's the
Aye.
seconder? I don't.
Commissioner Pardo, I think.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There is a future legislation, just making note of it for the record, and I believe our city attorney has a statement to read.
Yes, Madam Chair, I've been requested by our outside counsel to request a shade meeting. Madam Chairwoman and members of the Commission, pursuant to the provisions of Section 286.011, parentheses 8 Florida statutes, I am requesting that at the City Commission meeting of May 22nd, 2025, an attorney-client session closed to the public be held for purposes of discussing the pending litigation in the matter of William O. Fuller, Martin Padilla II, the Barlington Group, Calle Ocho Marketplace LLC, Yo Amo Calle Siete LLC, Little Havana Arts Building LLC, Little Havana Arts Building 2 LLC, Tower Hotel LLC, Brickell Station LLC, Piedra Villas LLC, Futurama LLC, El Shopping LLC, Beatstick LLC, Viernes Culturales / Cultural Fridays Inc., Little Havana Bungalows LLC, and LHAB Trust LLC versus City of Miami, Joe Carollo in his individual capacity, Arthur Noriega in his individual capacity, Victoria Mendez in her individual capacity, Rachel Dooley in her individual capacity, ACL Marrero in his individual capacity, Dan S. Goldberg in his individual capacity, William Ortiz in his individual capacity, Luis Torres in his individual capacity, Adrian Placencia in his individual capacity, Rene Diaz in his individual capacity, Yvonne Bayona in her individual capacity, John Doe's 1 through 20, case numbers 23 CV 24251 RAR. Pending in the United States District Court, Southern District of Florida, to which the city is presently a party. The subject of the meeting will be confined to settlement negotiations or strategy sessions related to litigation expenditures. The private meeting will begin at approximately 10 a.m. or soon thereafter as the commissioner's schedules permit and conclude approximately 1 hour later. The session will be attended by the members of the City Commission, which include Chairwoman Christine King, Commissioners Miguel Angel Gabella and Damian Pardo, the Chief Financial Officer Larry M. Springs, City Attorney George K. Wysong, Chief Deputy City Attorney John Greco, Deputy City Attorney Kevin Jones, Assistant City Attorney Supervisor Eric Eves, Assistant City Attorney Marguerite Snyder, and outside counsel Raquel A. Rodriguez, Esquire Angel Cortinas, Esquire, and Jonathan Casco, Esquire. A certified court reporter will be present to ensure that this session is fully transcribed and the transcript will be made public upon the conclusion of the litigation. At the conclusion of the attorney-client session, the regular commission meeting will be reopened, and the person chairing the commission meeting will announce the termination of the attorney-client session. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. And this concludes the May 8th, 2025 City of Miami Commission meeting. Thank you all for your attendance and your advocacy.
Thank you.